Welcome back to Chase's Everything Shooting. Today is part 2 of the deer feeder, and really what I should name this is the epic failure. Okay, so let me get into this. On my deer lease, the guy that owns the land said, hey, there's a bunch of feeders out there, just take a few of them, make them work, not a problem. Just take what you need. He's a really cool guy. I have gone to church with him and stuff, and so I did. I picked up a couple, and I didn't get to take the ones from my last lease I had, so I took these and made them work. When I brought them, and you saw the video of me working on the solar panel and working on the motor and getting the spreader better in balance. I did all of that kind of stuff. What you didn't see is I had to make a new leg for it. I had to weld that up and drill it and put it on and paint it, and some of those things I just didn't have time because I was trying to get that feeder out there to get the deer coming in for deer season. Well, the epic failure. My sons and I took the feeder out and we set it up, put about 150 pounds worth of corn in it and got everything going, and set up the blind that we had out there, because the blind that was there was very destroyed and not good. So we got everything set up, and we did a couple of tests to make sure it was working. It was throwing the corn the way we wanted to. Looked great. So we left, and then decided we were going to come back and do a hunt just before Thanksgiving. And so we were out and in the blind, and we were listening for the feeder to go off, and we never heard the feeder go off. Kind of strange. Well, we didn't see any deer. We saw a lot of deer tracks, but no deer. And so we kind of started wondering. So when it got to be about midday, we climbed out of the blind and went out and hit the deer feeder to find out what was going on. So we hit the test spin, and it didn't spin. And I'm like, what? So then we hit it again, and then we just kind of touched the spreader, and it went off, but it was grinding, and it didn't go off right, and it was like, oh man. So the deer feeder never did work once we set it up. It may have fed a couple of times, but my epic failure was trying to use a motor that really we probably should have replaced, because the motor in there sounded really good and it turned without any weight in it, but once it was exposed back to the elements, it froze up. It sounded like, wow, it was making lots of noise. So that was my epic failure. Is I should have been smarter, and I should have we knew the solar part worked, we knew the timer worked, the motor I tried to cut corners on and it bit me. So then what basically I had to do is buy a new feeder. Can't miss the rest of deer season. So we bought a new feeder, and before we took it out, we did actually go out hunting again, just kind of hoping something would show up. And it was raining and blowing. Of course, we're here in Texas, so it was blowing, 15, 20 miles an hour, raining. And we had just also at the same time purchased this new Bog, looks like a hay bale blind, but we had purchased that because we didn't have time to build one. And I'll go into the story of why all this happened so haphazardly at the very last. But anyway, we got that thing, the blind built, we got in it, we started sitting in it, and it's raining like crazy outside and blowing. That blind leaked like a sieve. I mean, I was totally blown away that a manufacturer could build something and sell it, and say it was weather tight or weatherproof or whatever, and the thing leaked all over. You could actually see through some of the canvas. It was not a great purchase, let's just say the least. But the moral of this story is, if you're going to do some rebuilding of deer feeders, don't cut corners. The motors are like $15 or $18. Replace the motor right off. You don't know how long it's worked, if it didn't work, how much weather it's been put through, and that will guarantee that your spreader is going to spread and it's going to do what it needs to do. So this is all on me. My mistake, my fault, my stupidity. And what it's done is it's cut like 3 weeks off of our deer season. So hopefully the new feeder will be working properly. It seems to be, and we'll draw some deer in, and we'll have some deer meat for the later part of the month of December. We can go all the way up to the middle of January, but that's doe season and not buck season. So we'd really like to have a buck there. So anyway, I hope this has helped you. You know, I hate to be out here spreading that I was an idiot, but I was an idiot. And you know what? One of the things I respect about people is when they make a mistake and they own up to it and they tell other people the stupid mistake they've made. And this is my stupid mistake. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It's quick and short, and don't get caught with egg on your face with your deer feeder. Thanks. I hope you'll subscribe and like. Doesn't cost you anything, but it sure helps me in the long run. I'm not out here to make money off of this. I'm doing this for fun and enjoyment. So please subscribe and like.